Okay, let's look at this first word problem. So, a certain type of bacteria doubles every 2 hours. If you start with 1 bacteria, at the end of 2 hours, you have 2 bacteria. At the end of 4 hours, you're going to have 4 bacteria. After 6 hours, you'll have 8 bacteria, and so on. How many bacteria will you have after 120 hours? They want you to write your answer in exponential notation. Okay, so there's a couple of things that are really important here in this problem. First of all, the bacteria doubles is very important. That word doubles should make you think of the number 2, right? So I'm going to put a 2 above that. And that's happening every 2 hours. Every 2 hours is also really important, so I'm going to go ahead and underline that. And so then they give us that information about if you start with 1, then you're going to have 2 after 2 hours. And then when you have 2 bacteria, then you're going to have 4 after 4 hours. And then you'll have, after 6 hours, you're going to have 8 bacteria, and so on. That and so on is important because it's telling you that that pattern is going to keep on continuing, and that should trigger to you this is exponential notation. It even tells you that in the question. So they want to know how many bacteria you're going to have after 120 hours. Okay, so what we have to look at here is what is our base, what is our exponent? Well, when we're looking at it, our exponent should be pretty easy to find because it's doubling every 2 hours. Every 2 hours. So that exponential thing is happening every 2 hours. So if we want to know how often it's going to happen in 120 hours, and it happens every 2 hours, what we're going to do is take that 120 hours and divide that by 2. So that should tell you that our exponent is going to be 60, because this is going to happen, it's going to double 60 times in 120 hours, okay, because it happens every 2 hours. So we do know our exponent is 60. Now, when we picked out doubles every 2 hours, and we start with 1 and bacteria, and then it's going to double, that word double tells you that your base that you're starting with is going to be a 2. So our answer here is going to be 2 to the 60th power. Hopefully that makes sense. If you put that in your calculator, you're going to get an answer that's well beyond what your calculator is able to show you. So, you know, it's not really going to be helpful for you to put that in there. But the answer here is going to be 2 to the 60th power bacteria. And again, doubles indicates our base, because that's what's happening to the bacteria. And then how many times is that going to happen? Well, they're telling us it happens every 2 hours. And 120 hours, how many times is that going to be? Well, 120 divided by 2, and the event's happening every 2 hours, tells us our exponent is 60. So our base comes from the doubling, and then the 60 exponent comes from the event happening every 2 hours. Okay? So hopefully you have that problem worked up. You have your work. It should be on your quiz that you have. Okay, this is one I'm going to have you do on your own. They want you to say what x equals when x is equal to 6 to the 4th power. So you need to put that in your calculator and give an answer for that. 6 to the power of 4. Okay, so you should pause the video and work that out, get it on your paper. Then when you're done, push play on the video to continue on. Okay, you guys. So here we want you to write the number 256 using an exponent 3 different ways. We actually worked on this in class. So this would be one, and you can look back at your notes, that's fine. But this would be one where you need to use guess and check, right? So you're going to use guess and check to figure out a way to write 256 with an exponent 3 different ways. Remember, whatever one you come up with first, you can use that one and its factors to help you figure out other ways to write 256 with an exponent. So you definitely need to use your calculator for this, okay? So you're going to pause the video, work 3 different ways to write 256 with exponents. Okay, here we have an expression that we want to solve. So they give us 5 to the 4th power divided by 7 cubed. So according to order of operations, PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, we don't have any parentheses here. However, we do have exponents. And exponents must be evaluated before you divide. So in your calculators, you should put 5 to the 4th power in. So I'll wait a second. Okay, so hopefully you put that in, and you should get 625. I'm going to bring my division symbol down. And then you should put 7 to the 3rd power in your calculator. Okay, you should have gotten 343 for that, 343. So now what you're going to do is just divide that. You're going to put 625 divided by 343. We're using order of operations to solve. And your answer, you would round to the nearest thousandths. And so that's going to be 1 in 822 thousandths. Okay, so we used order of operations to solve. You're going to have a similar problem like that, or a couple similar ones actually, coming up that you'll have to do on your own. Okay, these are the next two problems in this little mini quiz. Again, you should be using your calculator. You need to follow PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. P parentheses, E exponents, my being multiplication, D division, A addition, S subtraction. So here you definitely want to solve your exponents first, then do the next steps necessary. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and show all of your work, every single step, and solve 5 and 6 on your own. Okay, so pause the video, solve 5 and 6 now using your calculators, showing all your work, and then continue on. Okay, number 7, I want you to find the value of 12 to the 0 power minus 3 to the 5th power. Again, you need to use order of operations. There's no parentheses, so exponents would need to be solved first before you subtract. I would caution you in that you might want to look in your notebook or possibly at the invisible math poster above the filing cabinets before you proceed with this problem. And then you would go ahead and solve it. I would use my calculator if I were you to do all aspects of this problem. Okay, pause the video and solve. Okay, here's a word problem for us. Pizza store manager sells 9 to the 2nd power pizzas on the first day, 2 to the 6th power on the 2nd day, and 5 to the 3rd power on the 3rd day. Which day did he sell the most pizzas? Arrange the exponents in order from least to greatest. So what is important here? Well, we know that he sells 9 squared pizzas on the first day. And then we have 2 to the 6th on the 2nd day, 5 to the 3rd on the 3rd day. Well, I'm going to do my work right here. So we have first day, 9 squared. I put that in my calculator, and I know that's 81 pizzas. Okay, the 2nd day, he does 2 to the 6th. Well, that's 64 pizzas. Okay. Then the 3rd day, he has 5 to the 3rd power pizzas, which is 125 pizzas when I put that in my calculator. Okay, so it says we need to answer this question. Which day did he sell the most pizzas? Well, he sold 3rd day was the most pizzas sold, right? They want us to arrange the exponents in order from least to greatest. Well, before I do that, I want to say 125 is greater than 81, which is greater than 64, okay? I have my work over here showing that. So I'm going to put them in order now from least to greatest. Well, my exponents least to greatest would be 2 to the 6th, then 9 squared, then 5 to the 3rd, okay? We're not going to worry about writing, explain our thinking right now, okay? So that's how we would solve that one and show all of our work. So make sure you have all that when you turn this in today, okay? You should pause the video, make sure you get all of your work done. Okay, then finally you have 9 and 10 left. I believe you can solve these on your own. So number 9 wants you to write that expression, 12 times 12 times 12 times 12 times 12 times 12, using an exponent. You should be able to do that. You can use your notebook if you need to. And then number 10 wants you to evaluate means solve, 5 to the 4th power. And it also wants you to explain why 5 to the 4th power does not equal 20. So you are going to explain on number 10, okay? So you're going to go ahead and finish that up. Questions 9 and 10, and then you need to turn that in. Okay, guys? Thank you for working hard while I wasn't here today. I really appreciate your hard work and your efforts. I hope you have a great weekend.